You're talking about multitasking, right?
Yes.
Don't you think that multitasking is not good because your productivity or performance level come down?
Right. So it's about, I think, prioritizing and managing your time. So I think multitasking for me helped me because one is I love to do, I don't like to do monotonous work. At the same time, it's not just because I love to do, it's because I'm really good at it as well. So I do branding, I do sales, or I do marketing, whatever you say, call it as. So I do designs as well. So that's my passion. So I like to do those things.
Got it.
And the support system is my manager who gave me that support system to do what you want to do. At the same time, stick to your goals. Okay, this is my KRAs. I have to do those justice to my KRAs assigned. At the same time, delegation. My team, if I'm building my team up from the ground, I have to delegate the task to them. If I don't give my responsibilities to them, what I'm doing, or give the entire visibility of actually what I am doing, and as a team where we are going, that will, I cannot build them. So the transparency, delegation, ownership, accountability to all these things, we should be giving those to them. So build them with case studies.
There's a lot of changes happening with technology day by day. And it's very important as a HR person, what are the tools and technology that are going to change the market? How are you going to update those things?
I think most of what my experience is, most of them face challenge in using their own existing tools and tech stacks at their organizations, right? And the basics of that, you should be digitally, strong in order to stay on top of trends as well, right? HR is all about people. At the same time, there is a lot of documentation that we operate. We have a lot of, let's say, the life cycle of the entire HR aspect, starting from your hiring to even to exit.
Okay.
Right? So we have to get ourselves updated with respect to how to use the digital tools, so that you get hands-on, you start doing automation. So most of our activities are manual. How you automate it with your own system, with your own tools, with Excels, with forms, whatever it is, right? So you should start automating every task which is possible, and from there shifting to any latest, embracing any new technologies. Now what you see coming up with AI integration with ChatGPT, using ChatGPT for your resume reading. You just upload your resume up in ChatGPT, and it will tell you whether this person has what mandatory skill. If you want to stay on top of trends, you have to be digitally proficient.
Hello everyone, welcome to the 6th episode of The Leaders Speak. Today we have very special guest, Thapaswini Srinivas. She is the head of HR at MSH. Welcome to the show, Thapaswini.
Thank you, Vasaraj, for having me here. It's my privilege to share the stage with you today.
Thank you so much for accepting this shoot for the episode. How are you?
I'm great.
And today I know it was a very special day for you, and many happy returns of the day.
Thank
and
you.
have a great year ahead, Thapaswini.
Thank you very much.
Okay, couple of things I want to understand what exactly where you born, what is your education?
Yeah. So basically, my passion to computers made me to take up engineering, actually.
Okay.
So where I did my engineering in information science. So soon after that, the recession hit in 2008. I was selected in one of the PGDSP course in Mysore. So where I pursued my education there, especially on the diploma in software programming. So for almost 9 months. So I think soon after that, again, we all were there's a batch of 15, 20, 25 and, struggling to find a job. And that's where, you have to take up another gig works, let's say. Now it is pretty easy to say gig works. Back then in 2008, it was just a stint for us to set up in Bangalore and to take up some financial stability, right? So I did work for an organization, as a telemarketer just for a month, just to put up in Bangalore.
See, it's my very favorite questions because everyone have a different story why they chosen as a HR stream.
Yeah.
Why HR? That I should know that what exactly you choose as HR.
It was never in my mind actually. So when I was actually pursuing my PGDSP course in Mysore, I used to have the soft skill trainer, Miss Mary. In fact, she once told that you are more suitable to be into the HR space or, than an engineer. So back then it was just, okay, I took it as a fun and I didn't take it pretty seriously. So as I put up in Bangalore in search of jobs, in search of engineering jobs, so that's when I think I got this call from Target HR, where it was an opportunity for talent acquisition consultant. So I just landed up there just for an interview. Again, I was not serious there. So I just wanted to put up my position in Bangalore so that I look out again. My goal was to get into an engineering sector. So soon after my stint of 9 months with Target HR, so I again happened to get into a startups. So where you could get hands-on into coding and whatnot, right? And that's where my the coding journey started as a software engineer for 2 years.
Okay.
So I worked in couple of startups, and then got into a contractual job with National Informatic Center, Government of India. So I worked there for a year, and again every time it went on, it was in my thoughts that what actually am I doing? What is my purpose? What do I love to do? Right? But soon after this 2 years of stint as an engineer, I took a break for almost 8 months. And then I realized that, so where does my strength lie? So do I really love coding, or I was loving talent acquisition? So that's where, again, I went back to my boss saying that I really want to come back. So without any discussions on the interview part, because I was doing really good and I was enjoying at the same time. So I got back to talent acquisition with Target HR again. I worked there for 6 months. Then I take up another opportunity with other organization. I worked with People Tree. Then I moved to ABC. So while I was in ABC, I think I was shifting my career to a leadership level. So I think that's where Target HR again came to me asking if you can take up a position as a lead now in my organization. So that's where I rejoined Target HR. I worked there for a year. Then, if you see, that is one phase of my life where I was struggling between education and my career. So I have to stabilize my career. So, but if you see, I've been shifting jobs every 6 months. So that is also a worry for me what am I actually doing? So soon after 1 year of Target HR and my third stint with them, so I think I got married, and that's where the stability started. So I got this opportunity with Unilog. That's my first journey in corporate started.
Wow, that's great.
So I was a part of talent acquisition team, leading the talent acquisition entire delivery aspect, hiring for them, and I had my team. So I worked there for 3 years. COVID hit. So in 2020, again, there was a turning point in my life where MSH came to me. So I think that's where HR happened, actually. So it is something, very, very interesting for others, because I was questioned multiple times. How did you get this opportunity into TA? How did you get this opportunity to become a HR as well? So when MSH happened, entirely a new ball game, because you need to learn, you need to upskill yourself, you need to be on your toes, and you need to perform.
Got it.
At the same time.
Super.
And the team, and I loved this journey with them, because the turning point actually happened with this company for me. Not just in terms of the growth, in terms of learning, in terms of the leadership mindset, in terms of finding my own purpose. So we talk about vision, we talk about purpose. But for me, my purpose right now, at this point, if you ask me, I feel like I got a mentor. That's my managing director. You need a support system. In fact, if you want to build your career, you actually need a support system. Somebody to identify your capabilities, somebody to pull you up.
That's true.
Right? Yeah. Otherwise, you will not be able to make it. Alone, you can't do anything. So I think my MD, at the same time, the CEO of the organization as well. If as a head of the organization, if you don't imbibe the culture in the organization, you cannot take it down. And for me, the motto is to build the people ground up, my juniors, so that I become a support system for them and fast track their career.
I like a couple of points what you highlighted. Well, first thing is that the purpose, always the why is very important. And second is when you started in initially career, you need a mentor or a guide. That's very important, because there is so many people are there initial when they start working or they don't know what to do in their life. And the purpose, if I identify the purpose, that also be an emotional purpose that makes huge impact on this personal career. And second one is the mentor. You should identify the person who can build your career. That's very important. These are things we don't know initially when we started our career. But thank you so much for sharing, because definitely these are very, very important people who want to start up their, irrespective of anything, like maybe HR, sales, marketing, or they want to start a business. These are points are very, very important. Like, as you told, according to you, which one you feel that this is my expertise?
There are a couple of things which I do multitasking.
Okay.
I don't take pride of it, but then I have to be good at something. I feel I've been very good at talent acquisition. I think that's where my journey has started and where I've built my career and where I've actually identified my strength as well, right? So talent acquisition has been one of the aspects. And second is negotiation. So I think it is not something that can be learned. I would say with experience you will learn. It's not like you won't get it. I don't believe in the fact that, you would read something and then you would be able to negotiate. No, it's not that. You have to think that way, so that, in terms of the other person, putting yourself into the other person and then try to negotiate from that aspect. Be it anything. I don't specifically say it's HR, talent acquisition, be it sales, be it anywhere even if you have to negotiate with your parents.
Okay, got it.
So then I would like to share one experience, because my father told me, after actually I completed my 2 years as a software engineer, he said, just come back. Things are not working for you. I had to negotiate with him, right? So no, I have to stay here. And I'm the only child. So, and I think I negotiated very well. I told him that I feel there is something which I know that I'm really good at. Just help me, give me some time to figure that out, right? And then he gave me some timeline. I'll give you 2 months and you're supposed to figure your way out. Otherwise, you're back. So I said, okay, fine. And then that's where I had to really think, work on my strengths, work on what I actually want. See, it's not that I take up this job and I stayed in this job for some time and then I quit after some time. No, that's not what my goal was. I wanted to be financially independent. It doesn't mean that I don't want to be dependent on someone. I'm happy to, but still, so I think that's negotiation there helped me.
You talk about multitasking, right?
Yes.
Don't you think that multitasking is not good, because your productivity or performance level come down?
Right. So it's about, I think, prioritizing and managing your time. So I think multitasking for me helped me, because one is I love to do. I don't like to do monotonous work.
Okay.
At the same time, it's not just because I love to do, it's because I'm really good at it as well.
Got it.
So I do branding, I do sales, or I do marketing, whatever you say, call it as. So I do designs as well.
Okay.
So that's my passion. So I like to do those things.
Got it.
And the support system is my manager who gave me that support system to do what you want to do. At the same time, stick to your goals. Okay, this is my KRAs. I have to do those justice to my KRAs assigned. At the same time, delegation. My team, if I'm building my team up from the ground, I have to delegate the task to them. If I don't give my responsibilities to them, what I'm doing, or give the entire visibility of actually what I am doing, and as a team where we are going, that will, I cannot build them. So the transparency, delegation, ownership, accountability, to all these things, we should be giving those to them. So build them with case studies. I think I am actually enjoying that, because when I got the support and when I can render that support to somebody else, right, it's a wow feeling, I must say.
Good. Yeah, as you told, developing second line leader is very important for any organization.
Yes.
Okay, irrespective of HR or any department or the overall organization. How do you help a second line leader to develop their professional career?
See, first and foremost is understanding their personal aspiration is also important.
Okay.
Right? You need to have that one-on-one conversations to understand what they like to do and what they want to become. What is their goal, right? So when you actually get that sense that, okay, this is a person, this is the goal or this is the aspiration that they have, at the same time, are they really having that capability? If you have a capability, if you have the soft skills, if you have that persistence and passion to do something, then of course, why not I spend that time on you and build that? I can give you small projects, small tasks to start building you from there, right? And once I feel confident, yes, they are doing good, I can actually give those responsibilities and everything. And that's how they can fast track their career too.
Okay.
So that is one thing. And second is, sometimes, it happens that, you don't know what's your goal. You don't know what's your purpose. You go blank.
Correct.
You really go blank, I think sometime I was telling...
That's why the mentor makes huge impact on the people.
And you have to ask questions for yourself.
Correct.
Why you're doing what you're doing, right? So I think that also makes sense. Because you need to keep asking your questions for your own self in order to define that purpose for you and goal for you. And then you can always choose your mentors, choose your allies. And for all this, you need to have patience, perseverance.
Correct.
All of it.
When you develop a second line leader,
Yeah.
personal aspiration is very important. You should understand what basically they want.
Right.
How you align with your company aspiration to this.
When an organization is going to a change and they are having a different thought process that I would like to build my revenue generation into certain other or certain other part of the mainline business.
Okay.
Right? At that point in time, it is important. You need to accept those things even if you don't like it. I think that is where my learning is. I don't know how others would say. Learn to say no. Correct. Learn to
that's
say
very
no.
important, yeah.
But at the same time, if you actually don't say no and take up that challenge and start working on that challenge which is being given to you, I think you will grow as well. When you start aligning yourself to the organizational goals, right? Eventually, you will be groomed, you will be considered. If you really don't like it after taking those challenges, that's a different ball game altogether. We can always work around in a reverse engineer. I don't say, okay, skills, competencies are important.
Correct.
Personal goals are important. At the same time, if you really love the 90% of the organization aspect, the 20% of it, if you are not happy with because of some changes, if you get yourself aligned to that, you will start loving it.
Yeah, all those things is very important for any organization. Saying that culture also is important, right? According to you, right?
Yes.
Now talk about some culture, like how the culture in the organization. You would have seen because you work so many other companies. Definitely, they have a different culture shocks within the organization. How you handle these things and why it's important for any organization to have a culture?
See, culture is all about people,
Okay.
right? What with my experience is every day is a new day, every day is a learning for us, right? Sometimes, nothing is smooth. So what my experience is like, most of the days we are firefighting, right? There's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of things that we are supposed to do. As a HR, we do a lot of employee engagements, employee engagement surveys and satisfaction, health and wellness programs. Yes, okay, we are doing good. But at the same time, actually on the ground, every day we are firefighting. So when we are actually firefighting, how do we stay on top with our mental health, right? I think more over communication with your team members as well, that actually helps you. Most of your days are very hard, but at the same time, before you end that day, right? Entire day must be very bad. But at the end of the day, you pick up just one call to your team or whoever if there is a rough patch between you and your team members, just pick up a call and say, okay, sorry. That happens with me most of the time.
Because the maximum time you'll be spending in office only, right?
Yeah.
You have a lot of
See, it's all about connection.
Okay.
See, I never believed in this because I was a very kind of a little introvert as well before 6
Your
years.
intro, okay.
Before 6 years.
Acha, okay.
And this building relationship was something like, why do I have to do it?
Acha.
It's always like, why do I have to build relationship? But actually, this thought process changed for me. But that's very important to work with each other.
Correct. That's very.
Even if there is a rough patch, but I know at the end of the day when I go to bed, but I can call them and say, don't mind, We have that, they understand.
Right.
And now they relate with me. It's okay, TP, I know why you called me. That is
I understand.
something.
Yeah, that's what I like. That things what you're talking about, building relationship.
Yeah.
Like how is the people's person? That makes a huge impact on any organization, and especially when you're talking about HR, that is the one thing, right? How you connect with the people, how you going to connect with your team member. That's very, very important. What I've thought of the.
Yeah, actually, because I didn't read in books.
Acha, okay.
I'm HR, I didn't read in books.
Yeah.
It's an entirely experience for me. Everything is an experience. I have changed myself, groomed myself from the ground up. I was not a people person before. But then now I feel I am, because I am every day. You also need to change yourself because you're dealing with the new generation. You cannot be the same way you were 20 years before or 10 years before. And that generation is different. You have to handle people at their own level. That's true. So I think that's what I have learned from my managers, from my mentors.
This is what I learned from last 3 or 4 years. My learning process started, okay, and it's very important to upskill yourself in your own domain, okay. How you upgrade yourself to compete with other in the same industries or domain when it's come to HR related.
These days you have a lot of digital text, where you can go, digital platforms, you go, you learn, you get certified, but how you apply after that also matters. But for me, it was reverse. So I'm applying already, but I still need to upskill myself and know more about it. So one is, as I said, so you should follow the resource, like let's say, follow the leaders who are already in this space. Okay. When I say follow, it's not just following, liking their pages,
scrolling down
their Insta, scrolling down their LinkedIn. It's not that. When I say follow, you really have to go, meet, talk. And I think that's what I understood very lately, that networking is, for me, in my space, to know more. It's not just about bookish skills or a case studies from the books. It's important that, you should go, you should meet, you should understand their journey, what is their experiences, what are their success, what is their failures. I think that's where you learn a lot, so that you can also apply that in your real-time scenarios in your organization. So upskilling, in a generic term, I would say, for me, networking at this point in time has been one of the core focus, not just individual aspect, but also it could benefit wherever I go, wherever I work. It will absolutely benefit. Where you build relationships, you learn things, you learn to know what is the latest trends and technologies coming, and how you have to stay on top of the, on that layer where you can actually say, yes, I know this. When tomorrow you're not staying on top of latest trends, and then tomorrow all of a sudden you see a change, you cannot handle it.
Got it.
It happens, right? You cannot handle it. So it's important, even if you don't know things, you should start exploring what it is. At least show that inquisitiveness, that what it is, right? It's important to know what it is, why, and then a lot of things, again, exploration is important.
Yeah, you mean to say that when you focus more on upskilling yourself, maybe this is one step closer to your vision?
Yes.
That's what you want to say?
So for me, what I did for the last 6 years is, like, every year I had a small goals.
Okay.
Right? Be it anything, my personal goals also. So I write it down. I try to visualize those things. Okay, I want to achieve this. Or after achieving that, how I feel it. Right? I know many of those who are vision experts can understand what I'm actually talking, right? So when you actually have a goal, you always, see that, you are in that zone.
Okay.
And after reaching that level or attaining that vision, right? The kind of happiness that you get, you will start visualizing those things. So I think that happened. So every year I used to have my goals.
Okay.
So I have a different channel for this, but then I don't want to go too deep into this aspect of it. But if you're finding it difficult, if you have a bigger goal, break those into smaller goals.
Okay.
And then you start working on the smaller goals so that you will be able to achieve that bigger goal. So sometimes it happens that you have set certain goal for yourself and then you know that it's a very long journey and it's not going to happen so soon for you.
Important.
That's where to keep yourself motivated, it is important to have smaller goals for yourself.
Yeah, you mean to say like normally any goal we're going to set, there are 3 different kinds of goal setting, like one is the long term, mid term and short term goals, right?
Right.
According to that, you should focus first more on a short term goals.
Yeah.
Then automatically going to achieve the bigger or mid term goals or longer term goals. That's what you want to say, right?
Absolutely. You can always do like you set a bigger goal, break down into smaller goals, then start achieving it.
Okay.
Or again, you motivate yourself, set smaller goals because you don't know what is vision, or somebody who don't know what is bigger goals for yourself. Like if I know some of them, I ask what's your goal, they don't have anything. You know, what's your vision? They don't have anything to say. So in that case, for those who don't know what it is, right, and they're just going with the flow of life, which is actually good, but at the same time, there should be smaller things to keep them motivated. What they're doing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you're talking about goals, what is your main goal in HR when it's come to your organization?
I want to build leaders.
That is your goal in your
That
organization?
is my purpose in my company. When we say organizational goal, we have to be very transparent at the bottom level. When they know that this is a bigger goal of an organization, then they will be able to align themselves also. Okay, there is this bigger goal, there is this team goals, how we achieve it.
Okay.
Right? And then that's where the leadership comes in. You have to think creatively, giving them small tasks to do, go and, sometimes you have to take a back seat. As a leader, sometimes it's not always about leading team. You have to take a back step and say, you go front. And anything you're falling, I'm there for you.
Okay.
Right? I will catch you if you fall, but then you go front.
Now you talk about one of the things you upskill yourself about networking, right?
Yeah.
You love to be building a relationship now, like with the people.
Yeah.
Could you help us some of the HR organization that people can go there and have this kind of networking? For example, so many young people be watching this podcast, and could you help us, these people, like couple of organizations that according to you, okay, you can start with this one. You can be part of this organization, like different. There are plenty of HR organizations, like department, like I know a couple of NAPM, something like that. Yeah. Could you help us some couple of things like?
See, some of them, what I have been doing is that, and I'm a member of an HRD.
Okay.
So you get to interact with and collaborate with the people who are in your own domain.
Okay.
That is one. Second, I started again enrolling with upcoming meetups in Bangalore.
Okay.
Be it tech, be it off track, be it something else.
Okay.
Be it just a meetup, maybe for a coffee.
Okay.
With some group of people. So I tend to take some time in the weekends and I go and attend. So there doesn't matter who are they actually, but then you will get to see different mindsets, different people coming from a different sectors. And then that's where also you network, you get to know them, and through those channels, you will have someone, of course, who are related to your domain as well.
Correct.
So it's not necessarily, I would say, there is set one forum, 1, 2, 3, you should go and do it. But you should stay on top of what's happening in your own area, in your own city, so that you can go meet people, talk to people more. Either it is offline or it is online. Okay. But I just want to connect. Okay. If connection is not just about sending connection request and then connecting, but I really want to make sure that, that I actually speak to them, because most of them are job seekers who come to me, who send requests. Most of them are peers just sharing experiences. But then it's really wonderful because with this journey of my last couple of months, which I have started to network with people, and you know how I met you.
Yeah.
So
definitely, I met one of the HR forum, like small.
Exactly.
That's very.
So it's important for someone to take a different route. That I don't say there is set routes. I mean, if you want to, carve your path, there is always. My husband has been a great mentor.
Okay.
I've never spoken much about him, but then he has been a great support. He's been a great mentor. not just about that, it's just about even showing, okay, you're going wrong. Maybe not saying that you should do this, but saying at least you're going wrong. So in that way, because when I discuss, oh, these are my strategies, how do I go about, he actually pokes me and says, no, this is not, you should be doing it. So I think that's where you need to take opinions, irrespective of which position, what position you achieve.
I agree on that, because it's very important you're talking about your husband, because your spouse always makes you break or build, right? That's very important. You have to work with him, you have to build, you have to grow together. This is very important, what I've felt. And thank you so much for sharing that personal story of your husband. As there's a lot of changes happening, like technology was day by day. And it's very important as a HR person, what are the tools and technology that are going to change the market? How you going to update those things? Like,
I think most of what my experience is, most of them face challenge in using their own existing tools and tech stacks at their organizations, right? And the basics of that, you should be digitally, strong in order to stay on top of trends as well, right? HR is all about people. At the same time, there is a lot of documentation that we operate. We have a lot of, let's say, the life cycle of the entire HR aspect, starting from your hiring to even to exit, right? So we have to get ourselves updated with respect to how to use the digital tools, so that you get hands-on, you start doing automation. So most of our activities are manual. How you automate with your own system, with your own tools, with Excels, with forms, whatever it is, right? So you should start automating every tasks which is possible. And from there, shifting to any latest, embracing any new technologies. Now what you see coming up with AI, integration with ChatGPT, using ChatGPT for your resume reading. You just upload your resume up in ChatGPT and it will tell you, like, whether this person has what mandatory skill.
Yeah.
If you want to stay on top of trends, you have to be digitally proficient.
is it true that because there will be more people person in an organization, HR, that's why there may not be as tech savvy kind of things?
I don't agree with this.
Acha, okay. This is what I felt, because
Prioritizing,
maybe, yeah.
Right? So you may have to spend certain time and take it as a project and work on it. But at the same time, people person, that's different. You have to prioritize your engagement activity.
Okay. That's great. And we are almost end of this episode now. Any suggestion you want to give? Some inputs, any tips you want to give for the young HR people who want to take up as a HR executives or HR stream, or any you want to share a couple of things to share them?
Okay. So first is be patient.
Acha.
Be patient.
Not only HR, any respect of India, patience is very important. Yeah.
That is very important.
Yeah.
Be agile, because today you come with a different mindset. Okay, this is your job description and this is what you will be doing. But when you actually start getting yourself hands dirty into the day-to-day activities in the job, you may have to go above and beyond, right? So there will be a lot of changes in the organizations happening. So you need to take up those challenges, work on yourself, and so embrace the change. First is agile.
Okay.
And third, I would say, of course, one is perseverance, right? Things may not be working out fine for you. Don't give up.
Correct.
Right? And just make sure that you give your best, more than 100%, and then things will follow. It will fall in place. So I think these are some of the aspects that anyone needs it,
Definitely.
not just about
I
HR.
got it, yeah.
Again, communication is, especially for HRs, communication is very important. And logical thinking. At the same time, personality as well as communication. This is very important. And that, you need to build that soft skills in you. Hard skills can always be learned.
Correct.
Build that soft skills in you as a HR so that you can be groomed to become much better. I think that is what is important in HR. Otherwise, if you talk about any organization or any training institute or any colleges, MBA colleges, they do train them whatever necessary skills require. And some of them hard skills they will acquire later also. But this is very important.
Thank you so much, Thapaswini. on your special day coming here, sharing all your knowledges and how the stories what you have. Think. Thank you so much for coming. Okay.
Thank you for having me, first of
My
all.
pleasure.
Thanks
Thank you.
so much.
This small gift from a sustainable brand called Rafter. Please.
Thank you. Thanks for the gesture.
From this episode, I have 3 takeaways. The number one is why or purpose. It's very important to know your emotional purpose behind. If you don't have any purpose or why in your life, then it's very difficult to success in your life. And second will be the mentor. It's very important when you start your career or anything, like you need to choose a mentor, right mentor. Like for example, I'm a business person. I know who's my business coach. Like you should choose, very important to choose a mentor. That particular mentor going to help you to build your career. That's what the second takeaway. The third takeaway is a network. Any irrespective of stream, like you may be HR or marketing or sales, operation, purchase, irrespective of any kind of a department you're working as a professional, you need to be networked very well. That's what I learned from Thapaswini, that it's very important to have a good network with the people, because that's going to build a solid relationship with the people. And this is the 3 takeaway from this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this episode, please like, share and subscribe the Leader Speak podcast and show some love to me. See you in the next episode. Thank you.